everyone, my name is Pete, also known as FM Greeno, and I'd like to welcome you all along to the first episode of this new save called Better Than Eddie, where I try and prove whether I can be a better manager for AFC Bournemouth than Eddie Howe has been recently. Now those of you who know me will know that I'm a big Bournemouth supporter and a huge fan of Eddie Howe and everything he's done for our club. I'm recording this at a time where within the last 2 weeks Bournemouth have been relegated from the Premier League, Eddie has walked away from the club, Nathan Ake has been sold to Manchester City, lots of clubs are circling around some of our better players, so it's a difficult time as a Bournemouth fan, that's for sure. I do have another save running actually, if you're interested in going to have a look at that. That's called Holy Cow, which is following the Indian national team, so please check out my channel and go and have a look at that too. So let's kick off by going and having a quick look around the setup at AFC Bournemouth. So as you can see, the stadium we have at Bournemouth is a very small one, less than 12,000 capacity. I believe it's the smallest one that's ever been in the Premier League. There's been a lot of talk about whether we were going to build a new stadium or not, but of course now that we've been relegated, that's very unlikely to happen. The training facilities, it says, are good. They're not brilliant, and again not Premier League standard, and the youth facilities are very poor by Premier League standards. It's essentially a kind of League One setup really, which fans of all the bigger clubs have been telling me for the 5 years we were in the Premier League, that we were basically a League One club punching above our weight. The facilities do kind of back that up a little bit. So here's the club vision. They want us to play attacking possession football, which in fairness is pretty much the Bournemouth philosophy as it was under Eddie Howe, always known as being an attractive team to watch. They're looking for us to finish mid-table now and then work towards becoming a top half team, which I think is fairly challenging when you consider some of the other teams in the Premier League and the finances they have behind them, but you've got to be ambitious, right? Now unfortunately that ambition the club has isn't really backed up by the finances. As you can see, at this point we've only got a fairly small transfer budget of under 13 million and not very much in the wage budget to play with either, so it's fairly restrictive in terms of what we'd be able to bring in. Now for me that's not too much of a problem at this point. I want to try and keep the squad pretty much as similar to the one that Eddie was working with this season, to make a bit more of a fair comparison. You'll notice when we have a look at the squad screen in a minute though, there are quite a lot of long-term injuries and a couple of areas where the squad is a little thinner than I'd like it to be. So, perhaps if the right player is available at a very low cost, then we might make an addition or two, but no real urgency from my side to do that. Speaking of transfers, here's the transfer history that the club's done over the summer before I came in. So you'll notice that the biggest signing we've made is Philip Billing, coming into central midfield. We've also brought in Kelly and Danjuma for reasonably big money, but as we'll see on the squad screen, they're among the players on the long-term injury list, so we're not going to expect to see either of them making much of an impact this season. On the outs, Mings and Mousset are the two that went for proper money, and then there's a bunch of players out on loan. So let's go and have a look at the squad screen and see what we're working with. Sorting the squad by ability, you'll see there's quite a bit of talent in the squad. Lerma Ake and Callum Wilson are ranked as the three best players at the club currently. If we sort it by potential, you'll see Brooks, Lewis Cook, Lloyd Kelly, so quite a lot of good youngsters with a lot of potential to develop. So overall it's not a bad squad really. If we look at the injuries though, that I talked about before, so Danjuma, one of the new signings, out till after Christmas. Lloyd Kelly for a couple of months. Dan Gosling, who's a sort of backup midfield option, 4 to 6 months. Brooks is going to miss the whole season. And Junior Stanislas, who's another wide player of course, again out for a long time. So that really doesn't help. As you can see, that leaves a few holes in the squad. We've got the schedule screen, and the fixture computer seems not to have been too kind to us. Man City first game, the one team Bournemouth have never beaten in the Premier League, so that's going to be a real challenge. You can see we've got a pre-season tour to South Africa coming up, so hopefully there'll be a few easy teams out there, get some miles in the legs, bang a few goals in, get the confidence up. So what I'm going to do, play through that off camera, and I'll bring you back for the Man City game. We've made it through the pre-season now, and as you can see it's been a very successful one. We won every single game that we played. so that should be good for their confidence. The boys are fit and raring to go, and they're ready for their first big challenge in this first game against Manchester City. So if we take a little look at the transfers, we did actually bring one player in. Eric Gutierrez is a central midfielder, Mexican. Like I said, we were a little bit light in the middle of midfield, especially with a couple of injuries, so I had to bring someone in as cover. I don't really expect him to start a lot of games, but if we get any more injuries, he may well feature a bit more than I expect. Here's a setup we have for today's game against Manchester City. So we're starting with Ramsdale in goal, Charlie Daniels at left back, Adam Smith at right back, Nathan Ake and Steve Cook in central defence, Jefferson Lerma in the holding midfield role, Billing and Lewis Cook in the middle of midfield, Ryan Fraser, Harry Wilson in the wide areas, and Callum Wilson up front. So let's get through to the match and see how we get on. So I've told the players that I have faith in them. Whether that's true for today's game or not, it remains to be seen. But we're ready. We're out on the pitch, looking resplendent in our red and black striped kit. Harry Wilson's on the ball, Lewis Cook here, Adam Smith. We seem to be going the wrong way. Lerma picks up the ball, Billing. Back to Ake, out wide. Fraser has the ball now. A good press here from Manchester City, but we're just about passing our way around it. Lewis Cook now, Lerma back to Steve Cook. Some nice intricate passing, but we're not really getting anywhere, and he's got that kind of feel that we could lose the ball at any time. Harry Wilson cuts into Callum Wilson. Oh, he's scored! Unbelievable! That shot didn't look like it had enough power in it, but somehow or other it snuck in. And that's a real kind of Man City goal, if you like. Passing the ball around, keeping it away from the opposition press, finding the right ball to stick the forward through. Wow, we've taken the lead. Can we hold on to it though? Big hoof clear. De Bruyne. That's a industrial looking challenge from Lewis Cook there. Oh, good block. Is that Charlie Daniels, I think, at the back post with getting the block in. And it's been a very, very dramatic start to the game. We're only 4 minutes in. Oh, the lead couldn't last very long, could it? 6 minutes. John Stones has scored. Free kick in from De Bruyne. Yeah, just not defended terribly well. And it's one apiece. And still less than 10 minutes on the clock and another chance. Corner from Man City, but they head it over the bar. Wow, the chances keep coming thick and fast. It looks like we have a problem defending corners. Okay, so we've had a few more minutes now where it's calmed down a little bit. I'm not too disappointed. I mean, I know Man City are having the best of it, but you expect that. They're one of the top couple of teams in the country. David Silva here has picked up the ball. Zinchenko playing at left back for them today. We need to keep our shape. Don't dive in. Oh, great save from Rambo. Flung himself to his right to push that round the post. That was fabulous. Can we clear this? Out for another corner to them. It's a bit of pressure. You've got to ride these spells though when you're playing against the big teams. And the highlight comes to an end. So the stats are looking a bit poor. Let's see if we can get our guys to be a bit more creative. I wouldn't mind us at least having another shot at some point in the match. That would be kind of helpful. That's a good ball out to Silva for them though. He doesn't waste the ball a lot. Oh, Fernandinho from range. That's a really good finish, but I don't know. Could Rambo have got across to it? Possibly, possibly not. Just fell nice to Fernandinho. I think I'm being harsh on Ramsdale there. I don't think he could have done much about that. It was just really well placed from range. And so 2-1 down at half time. I mean, the match stats kind of back that up, but let's tell everyone to get out and give it their best shot in the second half. Hopefully we can impact the stats a little bit more than we have in this first half. So a corner for us. Oh, Callum Wilson! The ball's got all the way through to the back post, and he's there on his own just to tuck it in. Harry Wilson with the corner. Everyone misses the ball, and Callum's just lurking at the back post and sticks it home. So our second shot, second goal. Now, can we hold on to this? We've got a few poor ratings out there, so let's actually make a couple of changes. I think Ryan Fraser needs to come off. He's on a yellow and on a 6.4. So we'll bring Jordan Ibe on for him. And Lewis Cook is not doing very well, so let's give Gutierrez a little run. Give him his debut. I know it's a bit harsh, but we're going to demand more. I mean, I'm not sure we can expect more than a 2-2 draw against Man City, but just a few minutes to go. Can we hold on? Into injury time. Still 2 apiece. There's no highlights coming. Wow, what a great result to start the season. I'm really, really happy with that. I mean, again, you look at the stats and it wasn't the best performance, but to score 2 goals against Manchester City and hold them to a draw, I think that bodes pretty well for what's coming. Looking at the schedule, it looks like we've got a little challenging run of fixtures at some points. I suppose in the Premier League you expect to have challenging runs of fixtures, that's what it's all about. But I think the next game I'm going to bring you back for will be the Southampton game, a game which their fans will tell you is not a derby, and Bournemouth fans will probably tell you it is a derby. I really hope you've enjoyed watching this episode. It's been a lot of fun to make, and a great result against Man City to boot. If you have enjoyed it, please, I'd be grateful if you could drop a like on the video, or maybe subscribe to the channel if you're interested in seeing more of this content. I'd love to see any comments you have. It's early days in my channel, so anything that you particularly like or dislike or think I could improve, I'd love to hear about it. But finally, just thanks for watching. Again, hope you enjoyed the episode, and I hope to see you at St Mary's for the next episode. Bye for now.